the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the San Antonio Marshals and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Antonio Marshals and the Oakland Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Ready up.
They'll run on first down. Calhoun. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And he'll be out right at the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And it's complete. Henry. It's a gain of 17, and it also gives him the first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. 12 yards there and a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah McKenzie that time. And it's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run here with John Kelly. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. Prescott from the gun. The quick slant caught. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This fielded at the 2. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. They fake the handoff, now Greer. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. There he goes left side. And touchdown. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Oh, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now a first down throw. Greer. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. On play action, Greer to throw it. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4th.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. The 20. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in. And now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at him.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and Good. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
31 yards there and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down.
Offense.
And the linemen, they're already walking back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Harris. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 17 yards to pick up there. This is Harris. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10. Here's Greer again. Incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
On second and inches, Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now Kelly. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down carry for Harris. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 12, Dobbs. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throws right side, and that's complete. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Previous play is under review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. On third down, Dobbs looking left side. He's got it complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Dobbs looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go, D.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Greer, and that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This will be taken at the 10. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I got him. Check.
And they give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch, not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now they'll run on the draw. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner. Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Back now in the East Bay. And this this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the... heavy workload, but you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll hand it off to Kelly. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off the game.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
No gain there on the completion, second and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on third down, Dobbs. Looking left side, and it's complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go.
First down. Let's go.
So the call stands as is. Not only is that the case, now you're out of challenges too.
Which means that if anything goes haywire and you look out and you want to get it corrected, you cannot unless it's within 2 minutes.
He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive. But sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Greer. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A good return there, 17 yards. So here are visitors to take over on offense. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All day, every day. Shoot up.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, it's Harris. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach. The offensive coordinator just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone. Can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle. The gap there has widened. The Seahawks just scored again. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year.
Watch left, watch left.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help. No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.